Let's talk about the real main event. We'll get started with the real main event. Alex Pereira versus Jamahal Hill. I was so excited for this, man. Let me see
God,
what the lines were. DraftKings had Alex Pereira minus 130, Jamahal Hill plus 110 going into this.
that surprises me. I would have thought that it would. I thought it would be more spread than that. Shout out Genevieve. We watched the prelims, but we did not just out $80 for the pay per view. I understand your thinking. This one is one of the few times where, look, I don't know if anything is worth $80 pay per view, but this is probably as close as it can get to being worth $80. This card was insane. But like you
I've
said,
watched a lot of these fights 2 and 3 times already.
yeah, same. That's the nice thing about having a show on Monday. Normally we do a Sunday. Having it this Monday, got to watch through a couple more times.
Yeah.
Really figure out what the hell happened in here. But that being said, Pereira versus Hill, there was like a weird crowd goes mild when this fight was announced as the main event for 300. I think people had their expectations set higher than this.
Yeah.
Probably because Dana said there's still one fight that nobody's even thought of. It's gonna blow all your minds. And then obviously whatever that fight was didn't happen.
And then they
And
announced
then
this one. They're like, no, I this is one of the ones I thought about.
yeah. I
This
actually
is
did
one of
consider this.
the.
but that being said, some people really did not like this matchup going into it. I was fine with it. I was excited for it. I didn't necessarily like Jamal's chances coming off of the Achilles surgery to come back from that at light heavyweight against Alex Pereira. I just didn't really like. I'm fine with the fight, but I didn't think it was going to be very competitive. If I'm being honest, going into it, I wasn't like, oh, I don't know who's going to win that one. I was like, well, Alex has got this, but I'm still excited to see it.
Yeah.
It was one of those matchups for me.
You really
And
didn't
it
give
was
much of a chance to Jamahal Hill, huh?
no, I didn't, and I like the guy, and I think he's a good fighter, but close to a year layoff, Achilles ruptured, surgery. He was walking around at 250. It's just, and he came back from an Achilles quicker than most professional athletes do.
10 months?
And you're going against Alex Pereira. I really didn't think he had much of a chance in this one.
Definitely need a tune-up fight before you fight that guy, huh?
Yeah, dude. And we just don't do that in the UFC. There's no tune-up fights. If this was boxing, he'd fight some guy. They'd announce this fight, and then he'd have a fight before this, anyways, with some guy. He's out there fighting Nikita Krylov, and then he'd fight Alex Pereira. No disrespect, but I was all for it. I like both guys. There's history there. Jamal beat Glover, got his belt from Glover, or not from him, but in that fight. And to Ganskow's point, huge Proton fan, but I love everything Jamal was doing to sell the fight. Same. He made it very fun. He brought the Easter Island head chain. It was cracked. He's like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And you're like, okay. That's cool. It's interesting.
Speaking of Poatan, I hope Poatan joins us on today's podcast.
If there ever was a time.
It'd be now. Look how scary this man is, though. Even on that face-off with the war paint. Gotta love it, dude. And the way that he walks out with that war stomp as he's walking in and then he does an arrow, dude, it's always so good. I get goosebumps just thinking about it, man.
Speaking of that walkout, and to the point I'm about to make, but Jamal did not seem intimidated by him in any of the lead up or anything like that. Look at him here. He's in his face. He was talking shit to him, all this stuff. That being said, when the fight was about to start,
everybody, he didn't lose his belt.
No, he relinquished it. Yeah.
So going in there, he's probably going in there with the most confidence.
Yeah.
In his head, he's still the champ.
True. There's got to be some questions in the back of his mind, though, about the Achilles, I would imagine. But that being said, once he started that walkout and Poatan is coming out there, he's shuffling, and he's doing the bow. Did you see the clip of Jamal, what he was doing in the cage?
What do you do?
This is where it's like, okay, the nerves. I think he's doing a little much. I think this is I don't know. Instead of just staring him down or anything, this is the ESPN MMA page.
Okay.
Yeah, he grabs the bow, he breaks it. He's like, "Yeah, dude, I broke your bow. How about that?"
He caught it?
He's like, "Bam."
Okay.
And
so he shoots the arrow, and Jamahal Hill catches it and
caught it right there. Snaps it.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, no pun intended, huh? But that's a bit much to me. I don't know. You got a title fight.
It also shows skills though, because to catch an imaginary arrow at full speed is pretty
Pretty
impressive.
cool. Pretty cool. But he dn't do that, and instead he caught that left hook, huh? But
Can't catch
so
a
the fight's
ball.
yeah. Pokemon.
Oh Lord.
Gotta catch them all. But the fight starts. You know, Alex, the stare down before the fight, always just stone cold. And then the fight starts, and they're hand fighting. This was the interesting thing. We'll get into some technique, huh? We got into some bullshit. We'll get into some technique. First off, one last bullshit. The shorts, love them. Fantastic.
Yeah, so good.
Love the unique. Oh, shout out Game Scout. The shorts are fire. Yeah, love some individuality in MMA.
Yes.
Now, no more bullshit. They're out there. Alex is orthodox, right? You see him here. This is a rear kick from Jamal. Jamal's a southpaw, so their open stance. And one thing that is tricky with Alex, if you're gonna fight Alex, fighting him southpaw is a good option, right? Because his low kicks, he's not going to have the same effect on the calf kicks because the lead leg, you're now going shin to shin rather than to the outside part of the calf. With his rear leg, the power calf kick is no longer there. You can step up calf kick on your lead leg to the outside of their lead leg in the open stance, but it's not going to be as effective. But then the other thing is that left hook. Everybody knows the left hook from Pereira, right? Everybody knows it. If you're let's actually, can we go through a picture, Rich? I don't know which one it is. Perfect. Here it is. So they're open stance. Look at Jamal's shoulder, right? His right shoulder. He can fight behind that lead shoulder in the southpaw stance and really not have to worry too much about that left hook. It really negates it. And if you're framing off that lead hand, you also have an arm that it's got to cross. So the left hook is not nearly as much of a weapon against a southpaw fighter than it is against an orthodox fighter. There's no easy path for it to hit you. And then, like you can see here, if Alex wants to throw that right low kick to the calf, he doesn't have a calf kick with the right leg like he normally does against Yidri, against Izzy, right? It's just not there against a southpaw. So those are two things that work really well in Jamal's favor, right? Just the stance alone, it takes away the two biggest weapons from Poatan. That being said, Alex understands that. And I don't necessarily know if Jamal really understands the dynamic of open stance versus closed stance matchups, because I think he does, right? He's a champion fighter. He understands, but I don't think he does to the level of Alex, who's a glory kickboxing champ, right? Like, he understands striking better than most MMA fighters do. This shot here, a lot of the times in the open stance, it's all about the hand position, right? And you can see them in the fight. Oh wait, hold on, Rich. Let's keep it there. We'll go to that pitch when we start to picture when we talk about the finish, Rich. So the left hand from Alex is just constantly like this, right? They're just pawing, and they're pawing each other. He draws out the hand from Jamal as well, right? And there's a rhythm to that, and they're bam, 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 low kick, bam, bam, jab to the body, right? But there's a rhythm to that. But if you notice, look where Alex's hand is. It's on top, right? So in that hand fighting, you can get lulled with that rhythm, but you also want to be the guy with your hand on top, because what Alex can do here is he can parry that lead hand of Jamal and then come back over the top, double up. Now he's drawn his hand away from the guard, and he can hit him with that left hook. And ultimately, he drew a shot from Jamal, which opened up that lead shoulder and opened up the path for the left hook, right? Because right now he's fighting behind the lead shoulder, Jamal. He can't get hit with that left hook in this position. But he draws the left straight from Jamal. And when he draws that, right, because that's the other thing, open stance matchup, you want to throw that rear hand. The jab isn't quite there, right? But if you can step out the outside, throw that rear hand, there's a lane for that in the open stance matchup. So that left hand from Jamal has a straight path to Alex's chin. But when you do that, if I'm here, if I'm southpaw, right, and I go, bam, look what happens to my lead shoulder. I'm fighting behind it here, but bam, oh no, that lead shoulder is now not guarding me anymore. It pulls back, so that left hook can come right around, and it's open. And that's exactly what happened. It was beautiful. He pulls the counter, he parries it, bam, left hook over the top. Because he doesn't have to go over the top because Jamal's squared up to throw that left hand. Beautiful. It was beautiful. And sorry I talked through all that.
No, yeah, dude, it was that, right? The calf kick that he was working off his left leg was lightning quick, giving Jamal something else to think about. It was the left jab to the body that kept on drawing Jamal's arm down as well, right? So everybody knows that Poatan has that power left hook. Everybody knows that he has a power right hook. He turns on that so fast and so compact, man. It's just the mechanics are just there. Yes, it's very tight. So everybody knows that those are there, but he just does such a good job of setting all that up leading up to, so that there's more that I have to think about. It's not just those power shots, because it's adding up. And on top of that, as Jamal tries to step back when he sees Poatan stepping forward, Poatan also steps on Jamal's lead leg.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
He steps on his foot as he's walking in.
Yeah, well, because when you throw that left, if you're the southpaw and you throw your left straight, or if you're orthodox, you throw your right straight against an open stance like that, you want your lead foot to go to the outside of their lead foot, because that's what opens up that lane for you. But Alex draws that shot. He draws that shot. So what does he do? He steps out with him, and he steps right on that foot. It's beautiful. So he doesn't get the lane. So even if he didn't hit him with that left hook, the lane wasn't really there. He tricked him into thinking the lane was there, right? It was fucking awesome. And like you said, everybody knows the left hook. Everybody knows the left hook. It's what everybody was talking about before he even came to the UFC. This guy's got a nasty left hook. Yet he still finds it in every single one of his fights. And that's what separates like the good fighters from the great fighters, when you all, like, everybody knows what you want to do, but you set it up so well that you always land it despite that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so good, man.
And now do you want to talk about I don't want to cut you off, but do you want to talk about how insane the actual lead up to it was? Not just the technique of it, but just the theatrics of it?
Go for it.
Okay. So he walks him back. 30 seconds after this, he walks him back. Jamal throws that the southpaw left body kick to an orthodox fighter is perfect, right? Because it's on the open body, it's right to the liver. So he throws it, but it's a little low, and he hits him right in the cup. And Rich, can we go to one more picture, please? He kicks him in the nuts. Herb Dean walks over like, whoa, let's stop this. And he just sticks his hand out. Doesn't even look at Herb. Just dead stare straight at Jamal the entire time. Hand out. No. We're not stopping this. 1 second later, he throws the left hook and knocks him out. And Herb's like, oh, okay, I'll step back. He's like, hold on, dude. I found the timing. I found the range. And that's what he said. He said, I just found the range because of the kicks. I didn't want to break that and have to re-find it. So he's like, after that kick, I knew the range. It's like, and then Rich, we can go through a couple pictures and you'll see the stop motion slideshow of this knockout. I mean, dude.
And it's just, how crazy is it, right? That
and then he memes on him like,
it was Jamal Hill versus Johnny Walker, where he hits Johnny Walker right on the side of the head, and Johnny Walker does that like inflatable man KO, right? Yeah. And Jamal Hill clowns him. And it just so happens that after Poatan strikes him, it wasn't as dramatic where his arms flailed up, but they still went up and like shook a little bit as he like fell back. And I was like, oh, dude. That
what goes around comes around.
That karma's a bitch. And then the finish.
Yeah.
God, so good, man. He says so much without saying very much at all.
That's what I was going to say. Like, Alex does, like, he's always straight face, he's always deadpan, all this stuff, but the dude is hilarious, and he's got such a good sense of humor that when he shows, like, any little bit, it's such a huge...
It goes a long way.
It goes a long way because it's so much more than he normally gives, He's just...
Look at Jamal looking at him, too, like...
I mean, it's brutal. The shot is brutal. Can we go back a couple pictures, Rich? When he lands the left hook, he's literally... It shows him stepping on the foot. Austin, hey... I actually made the stream while it's live. Shout out Austin. But look at that. He's right on his foot. Right on his foot.
Yep.
It's fucking.
That was beautiful, man.
It's fantastic. I mean, just the whole like, no, Herb, I'm about to knock this guy. I'm about to knock him out, and then bam.
And then Dana's like, dude, I love you, man. We're gonna make so much money. And then you could see Alex Pereira there going, huh?
Yeah. Huh? He says Chama and then walks away.
Chama. Oh. Dude, it's so funny, man. Did you see the video where some dude's giving him a Rolex?
Yeah, I did. Huh?
And the entire time goes, huh? Huh? Yeah. And I'm like, dude, this is so good, man. It's awesome. So Ganskow, though, had mentioned fast Hall of Fame career. Let's take a look at this real quick, right? So he starts off his first fight in Jungle Fight 82, loses by RNC, rear naked choke. Mm-hmm. Then after that, he wins his next one in Jungle Fight, wins the next one in Jungle Fight. So now he's 2-1. At this point, he's in LFA, headlining LFA.
Yep.
Wins that one. And after that, he's in the UFC, right? Yeah. So he has 3 wins, and he's in the UFC. Goes on a quick run, and before you know it, he is fighting for the title against Adesanya.
Yeah.
When he's 6-1.
TKOs him, huh?
Oh my God, dude. It's nuts.
Yeah. Now he's got 2 belts. He's now defended the light heavyweight belt. And not just defended the light heavyweight belt, but defended it against the champ who just vacated it. It's not like it was just like a number 1 contender. This was a champ versus champ, in my opinion. It's crazy. And Austin says, can we finally start talking about the remarkable lack of fight IQ Pereira's opponents, except for Izzy has? Like, these guys just want to let the ego run and prove they can stand with them. Wrestle. To be fair, Jamahal has not shot for 1 single takedown in his UFC career so far. So I think part of it for him is also that he doesn't know how. Well, not that he doesn't know how. We've seen him grapple, right? We saw him get subbed by Paul Craig. But like, I just don't think it's in his wheelhouse. And, you know, Jamal's just grinding with Glover constantly. It's just, you know, I don't know if Jamahal is the right guy to wrestle with him, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the last guy that he fought that could have really wrestled with him was probably Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah, and he did wrestle with him to great effect.
Yep.
But also, you know, Alex is hittable. You know, if you can crowd him, he's hittable. Jamahal landed a good shot on him in this fight. He tied him up and hit him with a good right hand. Yidri clocked him a couple times up against the fence. Izzy knocked him out. You know, like, he's hittable. Jamahal, I think Jamal's best chance was, especially as a southpaw, was to walk him down and try to clang him on the fence, but couldn't quite do it.
Doesn't always work out.
Yeah.
Props to Alex Pereira, though, man. One of the most exciting fighters. Might be my favorite fighter in the UFC right now.
Really?
Dude, so much fun to watch, man. You're just like on the edge of your seat every time you watch him. And I just love the humility, dude. Like, again, like, he's not trying to be funny. He's not out there trying to be super charismatic. I don't know if he is very charismatic at all, but it's like just watching that video and everything's, and people love him. Like, that's all he needs to do.
The pranks with Glover, they like prank each other all the time.
Oh, dude, when he gave him that napkin and told him it was sushi, he tosses it in his mouth and Glover gets all pissed.
Yeah.
It's hilarious, man.
Oh, man.
When he gives him the motorcycle.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, come on, man. It's just
he pulls up in the new car. He's like, is that a gift for me? He's like, what?
Goes, huh? So good. All right, man. Well, that was it for the main event. What a main event it was, too, man.
Yeah, well, let's see. Alex says he wants to go to heavyweight next. What do you think about that? I think he should defend his belt.
Again. I think he should continue defending the belt, man. Yeah. I really do.
I don't need to take heavyweight.
Take a look at
if he fights
Aspinall division.
Aspinall takes him down and probably subs him in the first round, right? If we're being honest.
Maybe. Unless he catches him with something crazy.
Unless he wants to prove. I mean, I don't know. That power at heavyweight is going to translate differently. I think Aspinall would run through.
He's beat Blachowicz. He's beat Yidri. He's beat Jamahal Hill. He's got Ankalaev left, right? Yeah. Rockets just lost.
Yidri's a fight away from a rematch, in my opinion, too. Yidri wins one more fight. I think he's got a rematch.
He might have one after this. You don't think? Or did Dana already say it's Ankalaev?
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Yeah, man. Like, if you want a big fight, Dana says that for a living he sells shit moments. Holy shit moments, right? Like, I don't know if you get one with Uncle Live.
No, you don't.
So, hey everybody, Romero and Will here. Thank you so much for watching that short clip. It's just a small clip of what we covered this last Sunday.
Yeah, if you want to check out the full fight card recap, the link is in the description, and it's going to be on screen at the end here. Don't forget to go back and watch our fighter interviews that we have. And don't forget to tune in live every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern, and you can join in on the fun.
Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Goes a long way. All right, everybody, thanks for watching that short clip from Story of the Fight.